About 5:45 p.m., the Pell City Police Department was dispatched to the Park on 23rd Apartments for a suspect running around with a weapon. Our officers arrived at the scene and immediately confronted that person. After numerous attempts to de-escalate the situation, our officers were forced to fire on that subject, which they did. They rendered immediate medical aid to that person. He was then transported by ambulance to St. Vincent St. Clair Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased from his wounds. At that point, any officer involved shooting involving the Pell City Police Department officers, the investigation of that shooting is turned over to the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Murray was contacted and his investigators responded to the scene, and the scene was turned over to them at that point.
I hear he had like a machete or some like type of object and was trying to attack people, stuff like that.
That was the initial call, a man with a machete and running around the parking lot, and that's what our officers responded to, and that's what they were immediately confronted with.
Was this at a plant or like the apartment complex?
It's an apartment complex.
Okay. Anything you want to say?
I'll just echo what the assistant chief said. It's standard protocol with this type of situation that we're doing an investigation. The initial call was an aggressive subject who was armed, and Pell City Police had 2 officers respond, and at that point they encountered a very aggressive subject that was not responsive to any of their commands, resulted in a officer involved shooting, and we're investigating from this point on, and I would anticipate we'll have an update shortly.
Do you know how long this street will be closed off? You know what I'm asking?
I wouldn't expect it would take too awful much longer, just probably an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Anything else you want to say before we close? Appreciate you.
No, sir.